on May 5th at 8:30. We can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Eyes over here. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. The results. Would somebody like to? Did you put those up? The results there. What?
Yep. So tried to list every question that was out there. I gave two numbers for each yes and no. One, the first number being the percent, the second being the actual count. I don't know if anyone wants to read it. Do you want me to read it?
So the Board of Selectmen passed with 82% for it. Is that a record? That seems like a pretty favorable response.
It is very fair.
Yeah, that's good. The Board of Ed, 79%, which is, they're always usually slightly behind, but that was still very good. And all the other budget items, which are Simsbury Farms and debt service and water pollution, 81%, which is very good. And then the question 4 and 5 are the two capital projects. So Simsbury Farms is, how much was that, the dollar? 1.1, is that the $1.1 million?
It's really noisy out there.
Yeah. So that passed with 74%, and the Board of Ed Climate Control was what, 2 point?
That's 2.152.
2.1?
So 1.1%.
So that passed 75. So it looks to me like everything passed overwhelmingly, and
That's good.
seemed good. Anybody have any discussion or questions or observations would like to say about that? I mean, unfortunately, though, I think the turnout was, what, 988, which is what, Nick, about?
6.3.
Karen gave me the number of voters as 15,775, but I'm not sure I got that right. So that would be 6.26%.
Yeah, that's the eligible voters.
Fine, but I mean, you know,
Same thing.
we didn't have a very good turnout.
No. But the people that did turn out were very favorable, so I'm delighted with the results. All the hard work paid off, and I thank all the boards for their working together, cooperation, and hard work to get a responsible number that I think the voters could vote on and support. And as a result of that, we're now going to set the mill rate. So, Joe, you want to just do the slide that just to show, did anything change on our mill rate worksheet?
I have not adjusted anything for what's going on with the state right now. Obviously, the governor's budget is out in committee. This is as presented by the governor. It's a fair representation. I think once everything goes through the committees, we could actually fare favorable. But I don't recommend planning on it.
So there's nothing subsequent to us doing this that would cause pause for us to take it under advisement? No other significant events in town that would cause?
No, and I worked with the assessor yesterday. We're still confident in the numbers that he gave for the Grammys.
Still feel good about that, the supplemental list?
Yeah.
The revenues, I know you were just telling me, how much did you get out for interest you got invested?
We just placed roughly about $8 million. Layered into 3-year, 4-year, and 5-year CDs, earning anywhere from 1% up to 1.9%.
So that should,
Averages out to 1.4%. So on that alone, we do pretty well.
because we budgeted, what, 125,000 for interest, so it looks like that's,
We're 150.
I think that's very attainable.
Yes.
So it's a very attainable on the revenue side, there's no surprises there. All right, so then if we let it go like this, there's a decrease actually in the mill rate from 37.14 to 37.12.
Where's the interest?
The interest would be up in indirect revenues, right?
Yeah.
Up in there, it's like 246,000 more. We used to budget about 25,000.
Right.
And we weren't really actively investing it. Now we're paying attention more, and I think it's getting a better result. So Joe's done a good job. Really appreciate the work you've done there. I'm happy with the whole budget. I think, you know, we're still okay with what we did with the self-insurance fund.
Yep.
Everything's still on track. We're not, no surprises?
Can never predict surprises, but there's nothing that's changed in the last 30 days.
Yeah, and we got the new numbers from our actuary, so she's happy with the numbers we used, the correct numbers for putting more money into OPEB and the pension. So we got those reductions. All right, well, I'll entertain a motion to set the mill rate if I can. What's the motion we usually do?
I'll make a motion to set the mill rate for 2016 fiscal year of 37.12 mils.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Now, one thing we have to note is this does not include the fire district.
But they also didn't increase their budget, so,
Didn't,
We haven't finalized that yet.
Yeah,
but it was reported in the paper that
According to keep their mill rate.
The same.
right. So the fire district will be 1.19 if they do what they report, and therefore the total mill rate will be at 38.31 between the town and the fire district, which is still a decrease, and you, oops. What are you doing, Tim? All right, any more discussion on the motion?
Is there any reason not to take it down a little bit more than just 0.2 of a mil, 0.02 of a mil?
The only way to do that is to use money on undesignated surplus, which
Exactly.
probably the rating agencies, if we directly do that, they might give us a dingus. We have not had the rating agencies come in yet, is that correct? I mean, we effectively used surplus wisely, I think, and took it down other ways. Instead of directly putting it in here, we kind of did it the indirect method, but got the same result. So,
How do we compare now to Avon or other towns where
I don't know if they're done.
We're talking about
Or higher.
the absolute level of the mill
Well,
rate?
just
Yeah,
on the-
we're still.
Or
still
the
higher.
change?
but the anticipated increases in West
I don't think we're gonna find many towns that have reduced their mill rate.
but I think one thing we should do is after this, maybe Joe could look up the last 2 years to see how the change has been in the last 2 years, so we can see how we trend. Maybe use the same towns we used that we showed the voters.
The benchmark.
The benchmarking, we start getting some good benchmarking data, just to show how we compare.
Yeah, I think we actually did present that as part of Lisa's presentation. We can revisit and perhaps the board of ed and put in a true mill rate
But
perspective.
the ultimate tax rate that they did, and so we can see how we compare. But based on what I've been reading in the paper, I don't think anyone went down. I think everyone went up.
Everyone's going up.
I'm not sure, I don't have the absolute statistics, but I think we should look good comparison to everyone else. I mean,
Yeah, Joan has, this is from this year so
yeah,
far?
it's the one that I got off the internet. Yeah, this,
Those are the,
not the new one.
is that the 2015?
I think it's 2014 probably.
2014.
these are the actual mill rates, but not the change.
Yeah, we don't know how much they've gone up, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that.
So I think we'll get that probably maybe in the next meeting. We can,
But it's
that'll be a good topic to
comparison,
start to
it's gonna go a
compare.
hell of a lot.
Yeah,
Obviously, compared to Greenwich, we've got a ways to go.
yeah.
In
But it's good to
Avon,
compare.
but
Yeah.
we have different circumstances here.
But I do think, and we can vote on this first, but I do think it's really important that the newspapers report that 2 years in a row, we've had no tax increase. In fact, a slight decrease. That should be the headline, because the current
They
at
don't make
least,
headlines.
the Valley Press has gotten headlines right, but the current has had the headline that the budget went up. But the average voter, they care about what their taxes are. They don't care about the budget going up. The budget can go up if the grand list and
Right.
everything else can accommodate it. So
Well,
the
the
real bottom line for voters is that their taxes are not going up for the second year in a row.
What we've been
That's
able
big
to,
news.
The reported that
I mean, even though there's an expenditure increase, we've been able to get some grand list growth and some revenue growth and actually keep the savings for the voters. So I think that's what we've been successful at the last 2 years, and I think that's the long-term trend we'd like to try to do is separate the two, so the expenditure side, we control that, and when we have revenue growth, we try to get some tax relief for everyone, so, you know, it's a good balance. So I think the strategy we've used the last couple of years has worked well, and if we continue to do it, it'd be a good long-term strategy to use to try to make us a little more competitive on the overall mill rate.
Right.
So I think it worked out well.
We should vote.
Can we, all those in favor of the mill rate as proposed? say
Aye.
aye. Aye. Any opposed? Carries 5-0, so the mill rate passes at 37.12 mils. All right, we've done our business, thank you. Next meeting is June 16th. Anybody has any agenda items? I have a list, so before I get my list out, if anyone wants some other items in there, please submit them to me, so we will be busy. Thank you all for the budget season, and
Great to have such short meetings.
yes,
Yeah, thank you.
that's why I kept this short, so thank you. We're now adjourned.
Okay.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.